What is going on, guys? Welcome back. I know I promised a full recap that's actually going to be for members only, finishing up now, have it up hopefully tonight. I think tonight. But I had to stop and talk about this. And you know what? Let me just preface anybody that wants to mock this, ridicule this, think this is, too much, handle yourself that way. This is, to me, inexcusable. I don't know anything about Kuwait driving laws. Chantal apparently took a test. Now, I did learn these curbs play some semblance into driving. And we're going to take a look at the white and the black lines here, which you can see the car is parking with. But more importantly, you can also see these other lines. And this is the exact McDonald's that Chantal went to tonight. Now, when you see on the other side, you have the yellow and black. This is not McDonald's being colorful. The yellow, I believe, indicates traffic coming another direction and is almost telling you, do not turn down this. Let me show real world application of this. So this is Chantal approaching where she's going to turn in. And you can see these curbs are both met, driver facing, with this yellow and black line. This to me indicates do not turn here. And I'm going to show you kind of the sky view in a moment. But I also want to show you going further down when you can see this kind of used in a different application. So as she proceeds down, you can see those yellow lines there are gone. So this shows you can turn here. You're going with the flow of traffic. Now, to kind of give you a bird's eye view, because I know this is a lot, but I've kind of drawn in some lines here. This is the McDonald's. The pink line, I believe, is what you should do to go into the McDonald's, but more appropriately, you may go all the way down to the intersection, I believe, 63rd Street. You're going to see Chantal do this, where she comes in the exit, goes down that lane of cars, and then has to cut across almost where the entrance is for that street. And the problem this creates is a number of things. Number one, we can tell the way this drive-thru is oriented. It's putting people out to the left. So right here, you can even see cars are going to the left, not to the right. When we look at Chantal, she is approaching this from the other side. So this is the first indication, as well as this sign here, that we're going the wrong way. Now, this sign is not facing her. It's actually facing the drive-thru, but it's telling you this is the wrong way. So this is a major point that you have to understand, not just the way the cars are parked, but the way the signs are situated. Moving forward, when we look at, again, what you should do, you're never going to get to that point where you're driving kind of against the grain. So the car you're about to see is coming up, again, with all the cars right here. Chantal meets this car in the roadway head on. And she has no idea how to handle this, nor, more importantly, does the other driver. And I believe that's because the other driver is never used to seeing someone come down this way. So when she says you have plenty of room to get around, case in point isn't that she is giving room, she shouldn't be there. So I also want to show how she travels. She travels down this line, okay? And then what we're about to look at, where she starts to hit things and gets very confused, including with other motorists, is when she tries to cut across. So she's at a very off angle here. And you can see the cars on the street aren't going this angle either. So she goes from here to here. And that's what creates these 90-degree angles. So how does Chantal deal with these in the car? Well, the first thing she does is she gets to a point where she cannot make the turn. So she comes up here and she basically says, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't get around this turn. I better put it in reverse. So obviously we understand no restaurant is going to design a drive-thru that everyone that approaches it needs to put it in reverse to make the angle. Again, massive red flag that we're driving the wrong way. The other red flag that we're driving the wrong way is what happens after this, because even going in reverse, she acknowledges, hey, other drivers behind me are looking at me like, what am I doing? And of course, in this moment, Chantal gets very flustered. She wants fight or flight method. She's just driving and she goes right over this curb. And she even says, oh, I hit a curb. Going the wrong way into a plaza, approaching cars head on, expecting them to yield to you when you're not supposed to be there, being overwhelmed that other drivers are around you, driving over curbs because you don't know what you're doing driving in another country. There is nothing funny. There is nothing cute. There is nothing that should be minimized. Chantal is at the mercy of other drivers being hyper aware of her. If that white car was simply driving, if they weren't paying the utmost of attention, they're going to likely drive right into Chantal. And the fact that she continues to stream and film all of this innocently, as this happens in real time, she never acknowledges, although her chat did, that she was going the wrong way. Nothing she does acknowledges, hey, wait a second. Let me turn the camera off. Let me get my food and let me get situated and park. Chantal, again, I don't know the laws of Kuwait, but I do know common sense. I do know how parking lots are laid out. I do know how drive-thrus are situated, and we all know you do too. All of these things show us yet again, in 3 days of driving, you've had massive mistakes. Not only that, I'm just going to insert a clip here where you can see Chantal clearly adjusts the camera while driving. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is not something that the platform allows. It's certainly not something that Kuwait allows. Chantal can come online and say, oh, this is just being overly dramatic. Oh, I've never had anything happen. Oh, I've only been in so many accidents. It's really not the point. The point is, in the moment of making mistakes, she is not aware enough to correct them, and she continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over. And she's doing this for what? The sake of streaming. The reason she turned into that McDonald's too soon is because she saw the McDonald's, she wanted to go get food. She didn't care that the proper entrance was either further down or off the roadway. Instant gratification. See food, need food, get food. And anything in the way, be it car or curb, is just going to be collateral damage. I don't know how someone can look at this and not take a stance of this woman should not be driving this car while live streaming. But I do know that at some point, it's going to be more than just me talking about her driving the wrong way down a road, or not understanding traffic laws, or grabbing her phone, or reading her chat, or whatever it is that she's going to do. She just hit something the other day. We all covered it. So why on earth it's going to be this big surprise when something happens? I don't know. I just hope that no one else gets hurt because of her carelessness, because that's all this boils down to. She's selfish, she's careless, and most of all, she's becoming reckless. And for what it's worth, I don't see any other reaction channel coming online currently and doing these things. Love to know your thoughts on this. As promised, your top comments from the last video. Appreciate each and every one of you watching this, and you know I'll be back as soon as I can with more commentary.